Week 42 of the take. Mike Matalavich is back in studio talking episode 5 of Loki. We just watched the episode. Dope. Crazy that next week is the last is the series finale of this miniseries. Mets Yanks, New York baseball in general, All-Star break is next week. This Sunday concludes the first half of the baseball season.
That it does.
It's gone swimmingly, honestly. Throughout the first few months, COVID, a little bit scarce here and there, teams getting vaccinated, and now it's really looking like we're getting to that normalcy of 2019. Ballparks are filling up.
Yeah, there have been a few bumps, especially when it comes to sticky substances. But especially the way that the league handled foul balls to the face of pedestrians. I thought this was going to be a much, much worse installation and regulation of an issue. The fact that there's been one major issue because of Joe Girardi, and that's really been it. Otherwise, it's been some attitude from pitchers. Otherwise, they just kind of checked. One pitcher had his glove removed, one pitcher had a ball removed. Otherwise, things have just sort of regulated themselves, and the game has continued pretty fine. Now, there's things people don't love. 7-inning doubleheaders.
I love them, by the way.
Runner on second.
Mets are great in 7-inning doubleheaders, and they have another one today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go 2-0 today.
Runner on second for extra innings. There's certain things.
Well, that one sucks. That's Little League.
And I think there should be the DH in both leagues by now.
And that's all. That's all next year. New CBA. You know that the CBA will not get signed unless the universal DH is in that.
100%.
Is in that agreement.
100%. But I think overall, this season has gone, I think, hiccup free, and that's something that we should be commending players and league officials for getting us to this point. Because last year, we didn't have baseball.
Right. 60 games. It's what it was.
Yep.
I think with the whole sticky substance issue over the last few, because like I said, it's kind of like even itself out. And now we're kind of really seeing like who pitchers really are. And I feel like the headline and it's more glaring being in New York with Chapman and Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really who Garrett Cole is? Is this a guy that has an over 4 ERA? Aroldis Chapman has over a 22 ERA in his last 7 appearances.
And I think the neglection of denial from Garrett Cole has put the magnifying glass right on the Yankees. If he had lied, he cheated. If he had just lied about cheating, we would have suspected, but we wouldn't be staring at him on every single pitch. We wouldn't be looking at Aroldis Chapman, his teammate, like, is he doing it too? Because, let's be honest, if you're going to commit a major crime to earn you $324 million, you could at least lie about it a little bit. Like, you had the balls to cheat. You can't lie about it, because now you've pretty much put the bell up to me, you, fans, league officials, everybody's staring at you now, waiting to see what you're going to do, and right now, it looks very evident you were cheating.
Yeah. Jacob deGrom, not cheating.
Not cheating.
So Mets played 2 last night. Postponed. They tried to lengthen it out as much as they can because for them, having played like 4 doubleheaders in the last 2 weeks, didn't want any of that. They wanted Jake to go last night, Sunday. Now he's going to pitch the 2:00 game of the doubleheader, and apparently might get on short rest abbreviated start on Sunday. Just so, maybe they don't have to go with the full bullpen game. They get 4. Maybe, you don't get... Jake doesn't get a decision on Sunday, let's say. He goes 4, no win, no loss, whatever, but he eats up 4 innings for you. Especially Corey Oswalt went on the IL with knee inflammation yesterday. They're short on pitchers. Tyler McGill, been fantastic for them since coming in the rotation. Walker, Stroman, they're doing their thing.
Yeah. My only issue with the abbreviated start, I would love it if we had a healthy Jacob deGrom. He's missed a few starts already for injuries that seem to pop up and nag a little bit. That seem to indicate something might be wrong, but nothing's wrong yet. It might be coming. So this might be one where maybe a bullpen game would be enough because even though you're going to be getting similar work done, the stress of a game situation on the arm is just different than getting work in a bullpen against your own team. You know, if you have a healthy Jacob deGrom all year, he's made all his starts. I say put him out there for an abbreviated start, and he might even go the full game with the way he pitches.
Right.
But because he's missed a few starts, I think he should not do an abbreviated start. Get a little work in, skip the All-Star game, and come back ready to go after the All-Star break.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's two ways to go about it. You want him healthy. You need him healthy for the second half.
You need him.
And going right into it, the big reason is, he probably was going to be the All-Star game starter for the National League.
Mm-hmm.
His fourth All-Star vote. And just going through the rosters here, by Sunday, so the Derby's on Tuesday. By Sunday and then Monday or Tuesday, I think they announce it, or at least Monday, just to get the players there. We'll know what All-Stars are going to be added to the roster with pitchers going Sunday. There's a ton of All-Star pitchers that pitched on Tuesday that are either pitching today. Just off the top of the bat, NL wise, DeGrom goes today.
Yep.
Kevin Gausman pitched yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Corbin Burns pitches against the Mets today. Woodruff pitched against the Mets on Monday
night,
and he's going to get a start over the weekend.
Oh,
it's that double start. It's that double start for them.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
So they're gonna have a lot of replacements.
Right, and even a guy that kind of got snubbed, Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, started Monday, and he probably gets a start on Saturday or Sunday. But I'm wondering if he would be considered a replacement even if he can't pitch. That's the whole thing. I don't think he will, although he was more than deserving of an All-Star appearance. You get the teams that had to get one. Every team needs to be represented. So Herman Marquez on the Rockies got one of those pitching spots for Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wheeler obviously made the All-Star team.
He's been lights out.
Let's see, offensively, Schwarber will not be there. He's gonna he'll definitely be he'll be replaced with that hamstring strain. He definitely will not be there.
He just went to the IL.
Trying to think who else. Starters. No, maybe Buster Posey doesn't play in the All-Star game. They get another catcher in there. He's been banged up. I don't think he hasn't played in his last 3 games.
I think he'll at least show up.
Yeah.
I think he'll at least maybe come off the bench. Because how many more All-Star games is he really going to make? I think he understands this.
To be honest, this might be. I mean, he'll be there. I don't think he'll be active. So I'm wondering if another catcher makes an All-Star appearance.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, all in all, dude, the Giants are good. They are leading the. They need him really bad to be another offensive guy, and another great surprise, Brandon Crawford, All-Star.
Shocking.
17 bombs. He's got 56 RBI at the shortstop position.
Anybody would have called that coming into this season. I think Brandon Crawford was an afterthought of the shortstop market with Lindor, Story, with the big free agents that were coming up this year.
He's been one of the cornerstone guys for the Giants for a while, and just has not been considered an offensive presence or weapon for that Giants team in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy to see that the Giants are relevant again.
It's really making that NL West
exciting,
especially because when you know that there's a chance if the Giants play well that a wild card game would be Dodgers-Padres.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think because they're still going to do a 3-game series for the wild card, right? Yeah.
But that also means there's a good chance that 2 wild card spots will be coming out of the NL West. So if you're in the East or the Central, if you're the Brewers or the Mets,
that's the thing.
You gotta
it's division.
Lock up your
you have
division.
to. That's it. Unless they really truly go on a really good run, I think the Mets. It's going to be similar to 2015. I think they win 92 games, and they win the division. And I don't see them being a wild card team right now. I just don't.
I don't either. I also think they add somebody before the trade deadline. I don't know whether it's going to be pitching or hitting. They're going to add somebody because right now, I mean, we see it with the Yankees. We're a little bit better than the Yankees right now, but we have holes that if we don't iron them out, that we're going to be going down the stretch, and these holes are going to poke their head, whether it's starting pitching depth or we don't have enough fielders because we have guys on the IL. We need to add 1 or 2 more pieces to make this team a legitimate contender.
Yeah.
We're like that close.
Yeah.
That close.
Yeah. And I was saying, and that's why July's a big month for them.
Yep.
You play 2 more against Milwaukee today.
Mm-hmm.
Huge win Monday night, getting to Woodruff, who's been,
Yep.
the third best pitcher in the NL behind DeGrom and Kevin Gausman. He's been fantastic. 1.8 ERA. I mean, he's been just lights out for them.
And I did say it on my podcast, Casual Relief, always be plugging.
Always be plugging.
But
Follow him, Mike Matalavich, YouTube. You find that.
But this is the time the Mets really need to secure their first place position because they got the Brewers, which are tough but winnable games.
But again, with doubleheader, at least if you split today, you won 2 out of 3 against a first place team that has over 50 wins currently.
Exactly, and then you got to beat up on the Pirates. You got to take at least 5 of 7 from the series of the Pirates. You got 7, 4 before the All-Star game, 3 after.
And the 4, you're home.
4, you're home.
Like, got to take 3 out of 4 on that.
The Nationals were just surging. The Phillies are getting better. This is the time where you got to put your foot in the ground and just build yourself a cushion.
They're, depending what happens today, but if you go into the series, you're up 4 games right now. Dude, if you can, like, solidify being up, like, 5 or even 6 games before the All-Star break, that's especially with everything that's going on with this roster, thinking that they should have already had this kind of lead. Like they let a handful of opportunities to really lengthen that lead in the NL East. This is a huge 5 days for them. And just to go back on, like, we haven't even looked at the AL roster, which I have a few gripes to pick with that one. But I'm just in my head, I'm thinking that, so if DeGrom doesn't go, the Mets still need a representative.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy part is this first place team has 1 representative in this All-Star game.
It's disgusting.
Which is gross. It is DeGrom. So if DeGrom doesn't go, Taijuan Walker is the next guy up. The fact that he didn't make the All-Star team out of the gate is insane, beyond me.
Laughable.
Laughable. And then, I mean, the NL's had a ton of good relievers. And I don't know how they are going to balance it, if they're going to swap out position for position, like starter for starter, reliever for reliever. Like, the reliever's good. Edwin Diaz has been really fantastic this year.
Really, really good.
And even the record might show he's 6-6. Marcus Stroman has been really freaking good too.
Really good. Him and Walker have really carried this rotation because we all know what Jacob DeGrom is going to do year in, year out. The difference this year has been that supporting cast has exceeded the hype that we set for them. Usually Zach Wheeler and Syndergaard let us down, and this year Walker and Stroman, as surprising as it may be, are picking us up.
Yeah.
So the one, if not both of them, should represent us in the All-Star game.
Yeah. I would say there's no doubt about that. Offense, I mean, no offensive player should have made it for them, and they didn't. So
No.
AL. All right. First off, NL starters were Freddie Freeman at first, Adam Frazier at second, Tatis shortstop, Arenado at third, Posey, Catchin, Ronald Acuna Jr., Nick Castellanos, Jesse Winker for the outfield spots. Those Reds play. I'm very happy for Jesse Winker and Castellanos.
Yes.
It's just having great years.
Happy for the city of Cincinnati because
They look good right now. They're 44-40 and they're 5 out of Milwaukee, who Mets are playing right now and can kind of help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Starters for the AL. Right side of the infield, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first, Marcus Semien at second. Left side, it's Red Sox. It's Devers, Bogarts. Sal Perez behind the dish, Ohtani, DHing, Trout, Judge, Teoscar Hernandez in the outfield. So right off the bat, in terms of how we're going to get more All-Stars.
Yeah.
Mike Trout will not be here.
No.
Mike Trout will not be starting. He won't be playing.
No.
So his name will be off the roster at some point. Shane Bieber, IL.
Yep.
He will probably be off. He's probably not going to be there. All right. So I love the love for I guess understanding the numbers and giving Ohtani the recognition. there is no reason to have him take up 2 roster spots. That's like what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, like,
they could absolutely just spend
he can
him
great.
DH and then
He's a
put him out there.
DH. You don't need to put him in as a pitcher. We know what he's been doing pitching wise. But
Also, if you
at the end of the day, that took another roster spot from someone else.
Exactly. If you really want him to pitch, then just put him out to pitch. If you put him as a DH and then he goes out to pitch, there's no rule against that. You can put position players to pitch. Like, that's stupid. Let another player in as a pitcher only and leave him as a DH. And if you want to put him out there for an inning, put him out there for an inning. That should be the manager's call. That should
Right.
be Shohei Ohtani's call. It should not
Right.
be, oh, yeah, no, don't, this is 2 people now. He's twins.
Right.
He didn't tell anyone.
And being on the
Stupid.
like the stage nationally, he's hitting and he's pitching in this game. Like, I think at least he's pitching an inning and he's gonna bat.
Yes.
He's gonna get a few ABs.
As he should.
I just don't understand the
double name.
Yeah,
It's
and pitching wise, after that start in the Bronx, dude, his ERA is like a 3.75. It's
If he was a
not
pitcher only,
insanely good.
it wouldn't be as impressive. Like if he.
But that's the thing. It's like, you be named as a DH. You lead the league in home runs and ribbies and slugging and OPS and everything like that.
That's my point. It's not a few years ago when he got hurt and he just dominated pitching wise. We're all like, okay, yeah, he's a good pitcher. Like this year, his pitching isn't lights out, but the combination of the two is so impressive that you want to see.
Right,
him
it's
do
like,
both.
you know, he's doing all this offensively while having a
Yeah,
3.5 ERA, and it's fantastic. It's
If
amazing.
he goes out and strikes out 3 batters and hits a home run the next half inning, the MLB is going to pat themselves on the back because that is exactly what everyone
The
wants
tweets,
to see.
they're just gonna be.
It's going to
Yeah.
be 17 angles.
Look what he did! Oh my god!
A helmet cam. Did you hear they're doing it for the home run derby? Doing helmet cams.
Oh, they're doing helmet cams.
The MLB is gonna shove Shohei down your throat.
And Tatis Jr. and they're gonna do it all.
And Vlad Guerrero Jr. If there's a play involving Ohtani and Guerrero Jr. somehow in the field, turn off Twitter for like 24 hours.
And that's the thing. It's
over.
like we say like MLB and like their marketing, like Ohtani and Tatis, they market themselves. You know, like they're that good where it's like
they do.
where
but
we're seeing them on social media every day, and it seems like MLB's just shoving it down, but it's like at the same time, it's like MLB doing that on Twitter and being like, look, we did, doesn't really do anything. It's like their play backs up their marketing. It's like
Yes.
it's getting out to the audience regardless, and you're just being like, let's shove it down your fucking throat.
Yeah, that's the thing.
man.
I think that's the thing that upsets most people on social media.
Like, they market
it's not
themselves.
needed. Like, I don't need to go through SportsCenter or MLB and see. Like, I don't. If the Padres lose 7-2, I don't need to see top 5 plays from the Tatis Padres game. Like, I don't need to see 5 ground balls that he made.
Well, that's the best part about the Angels. It's like Ohtani homers 30 and 31. Angels are down 10-5.
And they're like
like
10
that's
and 30
it.
on the
Like
season. Like,
every
great.
MLB tweet is Ohtani doing something great, and the Angels are losing by 4 runs every time
Yes.
because the LA Angels are fucking cursed.
Yes. And they'll show you all the times that Tatis makes a great play. He slides into a split and does all this. But they won't show you the time where he goes for a ground ball, hurts his back, and he's out for 3 days.
Very Derek
'Cause he
Jeter-esque.
tweaks his back.
He's the next Jeter.
He tweaks his back constantly.
Can't
Like,
make a
he's-
play on that shortstop.
But it's just so frustrating because I don't need to see on my phone Machado, Tatis, Guerrero Jr., like all these young players, they market themselves. I don't need to see a routine play 7 times. I'd rather see a play from the Mets-Yankees game, like a big home run. Or I'd rather see a play from the Oakland Giants on my
Get me
Twitter
out on the
feed.
West Coast, huh?
Give me something from the West Coast. I don't need to see the same faces over and over and over again. It's so frustrating.
Right. It's that they market themselves. It's like they need help marketing the names that people don't know.
Yeah, or
You know?
give us updates on what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Going through, dude, the Texas Rangers have 3 All-Stars.
Shocking.
They are bad.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia is having a phenomenal year. I thought he was gonna make the team regardless. Joey Gallo got in, all right, and then Kyle Gibson's been very good for them. Kyle Gibson's a guy that I think the Mets could look in as like their 4th
Yes.
starter.
Yes, I agree.
I think Gibson's a guy that you could look into.
Mm-hmm.
With the way the Rangers are, I mean they stink.
I think the Rangers are going to be big sellers.
Yeah, they stink.
Big sellers.
I'm wondering with like we're talking about if roster spots open up, the fact that Yuli Gurriel is not on this roster is fucking infuriating. This dude is batting .330, has the third best average in the league, 12 homers, 57 RBIs for a first place team. Brantley made it, Correa made it, Altuve made it. Awesome, all deserving. So is Gurriel.
Yeah, I'm surprised, especially for the hate around the league for those three, especially two of the guys you just mentioned, Altuve and Correa specifically. The hate for them. So I'm surprised that
they are shutting everyone up.
No, they are.
That's the best part about it. But
I just thought Gurriel had a great chance to make it. I am surprised he's not there.
I'm just pissed because I've been following him. Like, he's on my fantasy team, right?
Yep.
92 hits, 10 homers, 54 ribbies, batting .319.
That's great. That's really good. So who made it over him? What position?
But I'm saying, so first base has been a very good position. No.
It was Guillermo Jr.
So Vladdy obviously starting. Matt Olson's been really freaking good for Oakland. He's been fantastic for them.
Yeah, that's true.
And the whole thing is that with the AL, you get the DH spots. So guys like Nelson. I mean, Nelson Cruz has been fantastic too. JD Martinez has been really good too. But they picked, like, they have DH specific people to roster.
What they really need to do is add more events for this All-Star weekend, like All-Star game. Like, they need to do not just a home run derby and All-Star game. They need like a pitching competition. They need a fielding competition. Like, there's no reason that they can't invite more players to come participate in these other events, so we can get Yuri Gurriel there. Maybe he's not in the All-Star game, but maybe he's doing something. We get to see these players at the weekend at least, so it's more of an NBA All-Star weekend type of vibe instead of one game, one event, and that's it. Because I think we got to get more players to at least taste it, because it's the same. I feel like we're getting stagnant with some of the players that get voted in. Like you said, Joey Gallo. Does he really need to be there? Like, he really, I don't feel
dude,
like
it's
how much of that is fans seeing his name.
I
and
don't even
it.
care. All right, so we all know his power numbers are usually fantastic. 21 homers, 48 ribbies, 63 hits. I mean, I'm sorry. You cannot make the All-Star team batting .230.
Yes. See, and that's my thing. Is like how much of this is just people recognize the name when the fans are voting and vote him in.
What's another argument itself? Fucking fan voting for starters. What the fuck is up with that?
It should not be for starters.
Get that shit out of here, bro.
If your fan base wants to vote for a reservist because they don't get the love that they appreciate, that's one thing. But if you're gonna start in the All-Star game, everybody should know that you're good enough to start in the All-Star game. There should be no debate about it. None.
Like besides Trout for the AL, I think they got it correct throughout the entire board. Obviously, Trout's a guy that even when he's hurt for a lot of the season, he's getting votes because people want to see him there.
Yeah. Surprisingly, he doesn't want to be there, though.
I'm talking about Aaron Judge is having a great fucking season for the Yankees. I mean, dude's batting .290.
But I think the overall narrative around them and the season they're having,
of course, has been they stink. The offense can't do anything. Although they had,
so even though he's in almost 300, is he at 283?
Right, it was around it was like 280 something.
I was shocked to see that.
So if Trout, obviously Trout's not going to play, I would assume that I think Cedric Mullins could start. That's another great story, great year for Baltimore.
Yeah,
Cedric Mullins has been fantastic for
Baltimore needs it, especially with the John Means thing. Like, John Means was their highlight
and honestly, we're talking him and Mullins being all-stars. If Means didn't get hurt, they would have definitely two people.
Exactly. It's not even the getting hurt part, but like everything that the videos that came out of him clearly cheating, and like Baltimore, that was their guy. They could use another guy. Like let's bring in somebody else to give Baltimore some positivity, because they need it. They really, really need some positivity right now.
For the White Sox, Lance Lynn, Rodon, for the AL have been the best 1-2 punch out of a rotation this year.
No Anderson this year?
Nope, just the two pitchers for the White Sox. Oh, and Liam Hendricks.
Liam Hendricks, okay.
Their closer. But no, it's really there is that kind of narrative, and what we're seeing in baseball is that the better teams that are in first place and are doing the things they got to do are solely based on a core of pitchers. Mets, you got DeGrom, Stroman, Walker, Edwin Diaz.
Yep.
The White Sox, Lynn, Rodon. Liam Hendricks. Like there's like a few teams that, out of the AL East where I think of Blue Jays being like a powerhouse offensive team.
Yep.
Red Sox right now are a powerhouse offensive team.
Padres.
The Astros are a see, for the Padres though, I truly see.
You don't think offensively?
I see more of Darvish, Musgrove, like that rotation, and then Mark Melancon in the back end of that bullpen has been fantastic.
Oh, they are fantastic.
Of course, Tatis has been good. Of course, Machado's been pretty good. Cronenworth, guys like that.
They're pretty scary.
One
through like 7, I would say 1 through 6.
But when they're not going,
scary.
like when they came in to Citi Field, their offense was absolutely shit.
Oh yeah, I say the same thing about the Yankees. The Yankees are a scary lineup, but there's a great chance
there's a way
to be cold.
There's a way to beat them.
Exactly.
It's like you can attack them like any lineup and be like, I'm gonna be fine.
Yes.
But and then great. The Dodgers offense, all three of their all-stars are hitters. Chris Taylor, Max Muncy, Mookie Betts.
Yep.
And then you have Bellinger. You have Corey Seager, who's been hurt all year. But like at the end of the day, you have Kershaw, you have Buehler. As of right now, you have Bauer and you don't have Bauer.
I think
that's a whole different thing with his issue going on.
I also think right now the fluctuation of pitching with everything that's just happened with the enforcement of the rules, you're going to see which pitching cores are going to stay intact. So I think you're going to see it, pull itself away even more than usual. It's not just like, oh, these teams have good pitching cores. Which teams' pitching cores are going to continue to be good after the sticky substance ban. Those are the teams that are gonna, are gonna lift themselves.
These are the teams that are gonna be
hot.
That are gonna be the best at the end of the year. It's gonna be the guys that have that 1-2 punch, 1-2-3 punch, and have the back end of the bullpen locked down.
Listen,
and that's why I don't think the Mets are going anywhere.
One of the best pitchers in the AL is giving up 6 runs or 5 runs to the Royals. Like, if you have a second or third pitcher who can only give up 2 or 3, you're golden. I mean, I was at the game Yankees Royals like a week or two ago. And Cole was getting hit up by a Royals team, which is not very good. And I just think that if your team can stifle that off and not be a part of the trend of bad pitching all of a sudden, you're going to have a much bigger advantage. Add whatever hitters you have on top of that.
100%. Let's get Taijuan Walker to the All-Star game. That's all I got to say for that.
# Walker to the All-Star game.
I was saying, over the next few days, there's going to be at least 7 or 8 more players named to the All-Star game based off of pitchers, based off of people currently on the injured list, things like that. It's in Colorado. It'll be a fun week. Denver.
It's going to be a hot one.
It'll be hot, but
be fun, though.
For DeGrom, he's still kind of like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I think even if he doesn't pitch Sunday, he's going to go, I'm not fucking going.
Yeah, exactly. I like what he said too, where he said I already missed a few starts. It doesn't feel right for me to go pitch out there. Like,
right. There's no reason.
No reason.
Yeah, that's baseball. We're at the end of the first half. Mets have played 8. They're officially halfway, right? 81. Yeah, 44 and 37.
Yep. Today's
officially halfway through the season.
Yep.
Mets are 4 games up on the division. Yankees are not. The Yankees are in 4th place. And they stink.
Booyah.